guys, it's Erica Galinas from Century 21 Affiliated, Northwest Indiana's Golden Girl. This week we're going to talk about how to pick the best agent. There's a lot of different variables that go through it, and most people who don't know somebody in real estate isn't really sure what metric you're supposed to be looking for. You talk to somebody at work and they're like, hey, call my guy, or you run the internet, you click something and they look friendly in their picture. It can be hard to pick the right real estate agent. The one big thing, and we've talked about this before, is it's got to be somebody you're comfortable talking to. You're going to be talking about money and your future and weird stuff, maybe with your dog or something like that. So it's got to be somebody you're going to be comfortable with. 80% of real estate agents, you're probably going to be comfortable with. We are salespeople. Most of us, the best agents have the heart of a teacher, but most of us, we're salespeople. So the industry attracts people who have a lot of charisma and who enjoy talking to people and stuff like that. So while it's important to have somebody you're comfortable with, that's not always the best metric, because it doesn't really say anything about how they're going to sell your house and how you're going to get a bunch of money for it. So there is a mathematical way to figure out what is a good agent, what is the best agent. The two metrics, they're very easy for anybody to come up with, any agent to come up with, because it requires access to the MLS. But your agent should certainly be able to run these reports. If not, give them my number. I'm happy to show them. It is how long do their listings stay on the market, and what is their percentage of list price to sales price. So those are two good, numbers-based information that every agent has access to that you can ask for and make a decision based on that. So the first one is days on market. So basically what that means is how quickly are they selling houses. Obviously different markets are, have different numbers and stuff like that. So what you can do is ask your prospective agent, hey, what's your average days on market? So what that means is from the day the listing is on the MLS until the day the listing is under contract, not closed or not inspection or not loan approved, but basically all of the days that it is active and open to everyone. So from the list date to the date that it's under contract. It's an indicator of how much marketing an agent puts into it. Because there's a bunch of different things you can do, and we'll talk about these in future videos. But there's social media videos, and there's open houses, and you can knock on doors, and you can have a state-of-the-art technology center where you have, fancy websites and drone cameras and stuff like that. There's 100 different ways to market a property. What you want is the agent who is doing the most effective marketing and who is doing the most overall marketing. Again, not necessarily 100 things, but the most overall marketing that works for your market. You're going to be able to tell what that is by days on market calculation. So you sit down with your prospective agent and you say, what's your average days on market? Now that number alone doesn't mean anything. I mean, if you don't know everybody else's numbers, then it doesn't mean anything to you. So you actually need two numbers from them. And again, these are numbers that are easy to find. What is your agent's personal days on market number, and what is the average for the MLS in the area, or for my neighborhood, or my town, or my county, or something like that. Again, these are numbers they would be able to pull up in about 5.5 minutes tops. So for example, I have some excellent numbers, and I will tell you that the average days on market I pulled Lake County because it's hard to pull, 10,000 listings or something like that. So I just did Lake County, for example. The average days on market, the average agent, their houses are on market overall for everybody, 55 days. So just under 2 months to sell a house. My personal one for that area, 43 days. So in that metric, you can tell that, for example, me, I'm beating the market average. I can get your house sold not in just under 60 days, but in, 6 weeks, okay? The second one, and this is almost a bigger number, is your listing price to the sales price ratio. So it's a percentage, and basically it means if you list it for X, what are you getting on the sell side? What is your average for all your listings? And what are you selling them for? So just an example of the quick math, if you listed a house for $100,000 and your average list to sales price ratio was $95,000, your average sales price was $95,000, your ratio would be 95%. So for each 100,000, X of that would be your percent. So for example, again, I pulled the averages. Again, these are Lake County because I had to limit my search. The average agent in selling houses in Lake County, Indiana, since I think it pulled up from August 1st, is 96.87%. So for every $100,000, if the average agent sold your house for $100,000, you would get an offer and sell for $96,870. So again, ask your agent, the market average for my neighborhood, my county, my area, whatever it is, what's your average? So I would say, well, your house in Lake County, the average agent gets 96.87% of the listing to sales price. I get 99.4% of average sales to listing price. So basically, if I sell your house for $100,000, I'm sorry, if I list your house for $100,000, we're going to sell it for about $99,400. So those two numbers are going to tell you what the best agent is. There's always variables. You know, if you're listing some $800,000 mansion, $800,000 mansions around here don't move very quickly. So you may look at higher averages and stuff. And again, a good agent will be able to bring those numbers to you, explain them, the comparison, and you know, they better sell the hell out of it because they're selling your house. They need to sell themselves to you first. So make sure, you know, if they're not giving you the numbers or the numbers seem creepy or there's something weird going on, they're not a very good salesperson and they're probably not going to do a great job selling your house. Another note I wanted to make is that there are a lot of agents who have big billboards and you see their names on signs all the time, and that's usually an indication of a very busy and very helpful agent. Even with those agents, you may find that their two numbers, their days on market and their listing to sales ratio percentage, isn't all that great. Different, and this applies to everything, not just real estate agents, but there's a difference between quantity and quality. So I could, I don't know, list 100 homes next month and promise everybody I'm going to sell them for $1 million. But if I can't sell any of them, you know, I'll have my name on a lot of real estate signs. But, you know, the bottom line is what I'm actually selling them for and how quickly I'm selling them for. So make sure, even if you've got a heavy hitter in the business and, you know, they're on every billboard in town and everybody recommends them, make sure you ask, because you can make money in real estate with quantity. You're doing a lot of extra work and you're not necessarily putting in the work that I would prefer to put in or would, you know, would do for my clients. You're getting a lot of quantity, but what you really want is quality, because you want to meet your time goal. So you want to be out of here in 30 days because it's winter time and you got to get to Florida. You want to be out of here, you know, by the end of the summer because your kids have to start school in a new school district. So that time frame, that first important piece of the puzzle, is dependent on days on market. So you need an agent that's going to be able to meet your expectations there. And then the second thing, obviously, this is the, you know, the big casino for everybody. What kind of money are you going to get me? You know, you can, if the house is priced well and a good agent's going to help you price it well and comps and everything else, it should be selling for close to what the list price is. So if you have an agent whose list to sales ratio is, you know, 91%, you know, not even beating the average, that's not a very good agent. They could be the nicest person in the world. They could be your best friend or your mom's best friend or something like that. They're not a very good agent. They might sell your house. They're not going to get you the most possible money. It's complicated sometimes when it's something you don't have a lot of experience with. It's one of the biggest transactions of your entire life to know who to pick. And again, it needs to be somebody you're comfortable with, but that's not hard to find in real estate agents. So in terms of hard data, you want to look at those numbers. Days on market. How quickly can you get me to my goal? And how much money you're going to give me? You know, I could list a house for $400,000, but if you're selling at 84%, forget it. I'm going to go on to the next person. Again, I say this all the time. There's a lot of agents out there. Don't be afraid to sit down with 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 to make sure that it's somebody who's going to do the marketing you want, you know, has the experience you want, and most importantly, that hard data, days on market, list to sales ratio. Make sure that they're selling the houses in the most efficient possible way for the best price. That's it. If you have any questions about that, or I mean, the math itself isn't complicated. I should have like a whiteboard, I guess, where we do it for you. I'm a visual learner, so that might help. But if you have any questions about any of that stuff, give me a call. You know, like I said, if you're interviewing an agent and they show up and they don't know how to run those numbers, have them give me a call. And I will teach them how to run the numbers, and then you can call me back and we'll get your house listed, because an agent who can't figure that out maybe isn't the best agent. As always, any questions you guys have, buyer's questions, seller questions, home inspection, mortgages, anything like that, I'm happy to answer them. If it's a question that I don't necessarily know how to answer because I'm not a mortgage broker or something like that, still let me know. I got plenty of friends in all sides of the industry, and I'd be happy to reach out to them, do a video for you, make sure you're getting your questions answered. Comment below, send me a PM if you want to. Call me, 219-765-2062. Text me, same number, obviously. Website, homesalesbyerica.com. You can find me here on Facebook, homesalesbyerica.com as well. And I will keep you guys updated on stuff, market updates and everything like that. If you have any questions, I know we're going into a slower season. It's not always slow for everybody, so certainly reach out to me anytime. Thanks, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Have a good one.